Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe.
Thank you for your support on Patreon, Supernova Steve Harris. Did WWE edit out a gay storyline? Here comes a surprising new challenger to Finn Balor, and Kofi Kingston beats Dolph Ziggler. Again. But was anyone actually there to see it? And is Rusev on his way out of WWE for super duper reals this time? Click the timestamps down below to jump to any of those stories. I am still a slightly jet-lagged Luke Owen. Press the thumbs up button, give us a subscribe, and leave a comment down below to answer our question of the day. What would you do to fix WWE's falling attendance? I mean, we all know the right answer is just bring back The Undertaker, but what would you do? And make sure you vote in the poll above my head to let me know what you thought of the show, where you can choose from Smackdown, Smacktastic, Smack Bang in the Middle, Smackdowner, and a smack in the face. This is the 25th of June 2019 edition of SmackDown Live. The show was opened by the best in the world, Shane McMahon, who cut a promo on Roman Reigns to hype Extreme Rules. But the show opened proper with the New Day coming out for more talking. Dolph Ziggler quickly came out for yet more talking and said that he should be WWE Champion. You know, I've been gone for 2 whole weeks and missed an entire pay-per-view, and yet nothing looks like it's changed. Dolph then said that he spoke to WWE management, but there are no authority figures in this company whatsoever. It's all you're the authority. And they made a match between Ziggs and Kofi where if Ziggy won, he'd be added to the Kofi Kingston vs Samoa Joe match for the title at Extreme Rules. And because of Vince McMahon's first decree that no wrestling can take place during commercial breaks, it was made a 2 out of 3 falls match. A gimmick that was made slightly silly when backstage, Miz wanted a match with Shane McMahon, but instead was given a 2 out of 3 falls match with Elias, where if Miz won, he'd get another shot at the Omni-Shane. So we've got 2 matches on this show with the same match stipulation where the winners get essentially the same thing. Rad. Todd Phillips of Toddington then announced there wouldn't be many Raw stars on tonight's episode of SmackDown Live because WWE are over in Japan for an international tour, which basically tells your audience, sorry, there won't be any actual stars on this show, you'll just have to make do with these SmackDown losers instead. Bray Wyatt continued bleeding into our reality with a background cameo of Huskus the Pig Boy behind Daniel Bryan walking to the ring as the Planeteers took on New Day, who beat them again to further establish themselves as the #1 contenders to the tag titles. If you were going to have New Day versus the Planeteers as your SmackDown tag feud, why have New Day lose to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at Stomping Grounds? Further to that, what happened to the Usos being in line for the SmackDown tag titles after beating Bryan and Rowan on the pre-show for Money in the Bank? Owens and Zayn then attacked New Day, with Heavy Machinery running down to make the save to set up an 8-man tag, which the good guys won when Heavy Machinery hit the compactor on Zayn. And for some reason, Owens walked out on his tag partner during the match. So the team that finally picked up a win at Stomping Grounds is now teasing a split. Rad. Mustafa Ali continued his Captain Hindsight gimmick, and we then got Elias vs Miz in our first 2 out of 3 falls match of the night. What's funny about these multi-pin gimmicks is the match structure is exactly the same as it was before. The heels cheat to get the heat, we get an ad break, we get rest holds, the babyface makes a comeback, and then we go to the finish. Only now, there are 2 extra finishes in each match. Shane and Elias beat down Miz, with the Drifter getting the win to make sure Miz doesn't continue his feud with the Omni-Shane. Quick question, feel free to answer this one in the comments as well, but where the hell was SmackDown star Roman Reigns to help Miz and stop Shane McMahon? In a moment of light in a somewhat dim world, Caleb Braxton interviewed Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor. Yep, I forgot he was champion too, when he was approached by Shinsuke Nakamura to set up a new feud. Yeah, I forgot Nakamura was employed as well. This adds more credence to Dave Meltzer's report that Rusev has asked for time off from WWE and that his contract is coming to an end very soon, with his random tag team with Nakamura as the evil foreign heels now looks to be over. Also, yay Finn Balor versus Nakamura Nakamura for the title. More of this, please. This is sadly where the light ends for the time being, however. As up next, we saw Nikki Cross take on SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley, where if Nikki won, Alexa Bliss would get another shot at the title at Extreme Rules, which Nikki won. So Raw's Alexa Bliss is once again going for the SmackDown Women's Championship when you have a perfectly good Ember Moon and Sonya Deville right there to use instead. And it wouldn't be so bad. But we've also got Raw Samoa Joe gunning for the SmackDown WWE Champion, and the top storyline of Shane and Roman essentially being a Raw storyline, even though Reigns is supposedly a SmackDown dude. It further highlights the idea that SmackDown is the B show full of losers and jabronis, while Raw is full of awesome cool kids you actually want to see. And people wonder why SmackDown attendance looks like this in 2019. But it's okay, kids. WWE is up for 4 ESPYs in a category where only WWE can be nominated. Carmella and R-Truth ran into Drake Maverick, who again told the good guys that they have ruined his life and his marriage. Feeling sorry for the bad guy, Truth said that Drake should pin him and win the 24/7 title before revealing he was only joking. Truth is a dick. And if you're wondering why Alexa Bliss is getting a title shot and not the perfectly good Ember Moon or Sonya Deville, it's because they're involved in a terrible storyline that apparently started over donuts. You think this is about donuts? This led to a very short match where Deville pinned Moon after some Mandy Rose distraction. Rad. Then in a post-match moment, the sexual tension between Rose and Deville leveled up when Sonya brushed Mandy's hair with love in her eyes, which Rose seemingly reciprocated. This is a storyline that has been somewhat teased for weeks on end now, but it was interestingly edited off the WWE YouTube version of the clip for unknown reasons. Aleister Black is still stuck in the Phantom Zone looking for someone to knock on the door, which finally happened at the end of the segment to leave Black smiling. And according to the very reliable WrestleVote, we can expect that person to be Cesaro. Yes, please, more of that. And in the main event, Kofi Kingston beat Dolph Ziggler in our second 2 out of 3 falls match, and our third with the stipulation that if someone wins, they get another match. Yes, literally half of SmackDown's matches had that stipulation. Anyway, this was good, but no one takes Dolph seriously as a credible threat. It's a match we've seen 20,000 times over the last decade, and it's our third match of the night with the same stipulation. So it would appear that because Raw went over to Japan, SmackDown was treated like an afterthought once again. A total throwaway show with very little furthered. The death of the brand split is killing SmackDown, and it's actually impressive that WWE can put on a show this lackluster with a talent roster this incredible. This week's SmackDown Live is a SmackDowner. And now over to Pete with the news.
Great review, Luke. It is lovely to have you back. I'm filling in for Ollie today as he's away doing some business, but it's okay, he'll be back before long. Let's just hope he doesn't appear behind me with a giant dong or something. In other news, Kyle O'Reilly is one of the greatest things to ever happen to wrestling, and if you disagree, you're just wrong and you have no soul. Unfortunately for him though, Pro Wrestling Sheet are reporting that he recently picked up a staph infection and is having to be pulled from in-ring competition in order for it to heal. This would most likely explain why on last week's episode of NXT, he sat out the 6-man tag match, letting Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Roderick Strong represent the Undisputed Era against Tyler Breeze, Velveteen Dream, and Matt Riddle. After the events of TakeOver 25, including O'Reilly being a madman, he required stitches in his back, which then reportedly led to the staph infection forming. The good news for O'Reilly fans is that he's reportedly going to be healed up and back in action in around a week's time. However, NXT have already taped their full set of shows until TakeOver Toronto, which means we won't be seeing O'Reilly get physical until that show on August 10th. O'Reilly and Fish were actually scheduled to appear at Evolve 129 and 130. However, due to O'Reilly's infection, the duo have been pulled from in-ring competition at the event. The pair will still be present for meet and greets at the venue, alongside Undisputed Era cohort Roderick Strong. However, a different NXT star will be replacing O'Reilly at the shows. Evolve have made a press release about their 129 and 130 shows, confirming O'Reilly's status for the events. However, in the same press release, they also revealed that Tyler Breeze would now be joining for the shows in his stead. Breeze is set to compete against AR Fox at Evolve 129 and against Anthony Green at Evolve 130. 30. Honestly, I'd say this is a pretty great replacement. Man, NXT has a deep pool of talented individuals, doesn't it? You know what? Scratch that. WWE as a whole has an insanely deep pool of talented individuals too. It's arguably one of the deepest and most skilled rosters of all time, and just one such individual to be a part of that would be Rusev. However, he may not be a part of it for that much longer. Rusev hasn't been seen on WWE TV for several weeks, though honestly, he was barely featured before then anyway. According to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, this is because Big Ruru has requested some time off. Interestingly, Meltzer also goes on to say that Rusev's contract is due to expire in the near future. While no concrete date was given, it's widely expected that Rusev will not re-sign with the company, especially given his very public frustrations with WWE in interviews and on social media. This was compounded by last night's Smackdown, where we saw the appearance of one Shinsuke Nakamura, the first time he's been seen in several weeks too. Notable by his absence was Rusev, Nakamura's supposed tag partner. Remember when that was a thing? If Rusev is planning on leaving WWE, he very well could have time extended on his contract, as WWE has been known to do contract freezes with the likes of Pac and Luke Harper. It's also unknown whether he and Lana would be a package deal or whether they have separate contract expiration dates, but more details will surely arise in due course. If Rusev does eventually part the company, there's no doubt several promotions would be itching to get Rusev in their ring. I, for one, would love to see him in New Japan. Now that would be one hell of a Rusev day. Do you want to see Ollie, Laurie, housemate Simon, and myself attempt to play Overcooked 2 with actual physical kitchen utensils? Trust me, you do. Click the video to my right to be taken to that video right now. A special thank you to our pledge hammers on Patreon, some of whom you can see scrolling below me right now. Before you go, make sure to press the thumbs up, subscribe, and bell icons to enable notifications, and leave us a comment letting us know what you thought of Smackdown. I've been Chopper Pete Quinnell, and that was wrestling.